Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time, okay? I certainly hope you're not here to waste mine. So I'm gonna keep this short.
Helen, we're both in sales. Let me tell you why I suck as a salesman.
Most valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?
Coffee's for closers only.
Hey there, friend. Welcome back to the Behind Your Back podcast with me, Bradley Hartman, founder and CEO of the Behind Your Back Sales Company, where we help sales leaders, sales managers, outside sales rep, inside sales reps. We help everybody in the sales performance business. We help them sell more, faster, at higher margins, and have more fun on a daily basis, delivering unique value. In this podcast, we talk about leadership, personal productivity, time management, and the craft of selling in the construction industry. So now we have been putting out more content to help you as we've been advertising our launch of the 2022 edition of the Sales Fundamentals Workshop, our one event every year where we get the most talented sales professionals, executives, sales leaders, outside sales reps. We have inside sales team who come. We come together for 2 days in Fort Worth at the Omni Hotel in Texas, and we have a good time honing the craft on the sales fundamentals. And what are those? Those are goal setting, those are prospecting, pipeline management, and time management. So we've been practicing what we preach, trying to deliver unique value first. So the last several episodes, we've been sharing some of the insights, some of the best stuff that we have that we go much deeper in, obviously, over 2 days at the Sales Fundamentals Workshop. So we've created podcasts, obviously. Hopefully you've listened to those. We also have videos that go along with them. And we have 3 downloadable PDFs, these sales tools to help you and your team sell more, faster, at higher margins. That's the whole promise here. So in the first one, we talked about the 7 questions to quantify pain and why it's so critical to ask those up front. In the second episode, we talked about the sales power curve, which is extremely valuable. It's taken the 80-20 rule that says 20% of your inputs deliver 80% of your outputs. The sales power curve takes that concept and puts steroids in it, and it blows it up, and it's extremely valuable. Make sure you listen to that, right? And the last one was negotiation tips, the top 4 negotiation tips that you should begin doing immediately. And I'm all in on negotiation right now. It's been a passion of mine for a long time. About for the last 10 years, I've been waiting to write a short, impactful book on negotiation based on my experience buying millions of dollars worth of material and labor on the other side of the desk in the LBM industry. And we're doing that now. That's going to come out in first quarter of 2022. So we shared the top 4 tips you need to know. You can go to behindyourbacksales.com/tools and download sales tools for each one of those. Okay. So make sure you do that. Why? We're delivering value to give you an idea of what's in our Sales Fundamentals Workshop. If it makes sense and you think it might be a fit for you, enroll now. We will sell out. You can email me directly at bradley@behindyourbacksales.com. And if it's not a fit for you, well, that's okay. I'm not for everyone. Either are you. That's fine. Hopefully these tools are valuable to you. Share them as you see fit. And whatever, we continue on in life. There's other opportunities for us to work together. So today is our last day of selling our unique offer to attend the Sales Fundamentals Workshop in April of 2022, April 18th to the 20th. After today, the price will go up $200 and you will lose the opportunity to receive a You Are Owed Nothing Deliver Value First hat and the new workbook we're putting out called Yes, Fear Works, but there's a better way. After today, if you do not sign up, the price goes up and those goodies go away. So with that, let's get back to delivering value first. So let me ask you this. Do you know Ben Simmons? He's an NBA player. He plays for the Philadelphia 76ers. Through the first 4 seasons of his career, Ben Simmons has won the Rookie of the Year. He has 3 All-Star appearances and has made the first team All-Defense twice. In his career, he has played 275 games. He is averaging 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, nearly a triple-double. Last year in 2020-2021, the 76ers compiled a 49-23 record which was first in the entire Eastern Conference. In the playoffs this year, Ben Simmons averaged 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists, and had less than 1 turnover a game. Again, almost averaging a triple-double. Plus, he had 1 block and more than 1.3 steals in 12 games in the 2021 playoffs. All of this is to say he is a very good NBA player. Then I will take you to this. June 20th, 2021, the Philadelphia 76ers are at home. It is Game 7 versus the Atlanta Hawks. The winner goes to essentially the Final Four of the NBA playoffs. There is 3 minutes and 34 seconds left in the game. It's in the fourth quarter. Atlanta is winning 88-86. Ben Simmons receives the ball about 12 feet from the basket. He takes 2 power dribbles into the defender and he spins, leaving the defender in the dust. He has a wide open dunk beneath the hoop to tie the game. But then something interesting happened.
Simmons, they cleared out for him. Tapping his way in. Spins on Gallinari. Gives it up. Oh, he was right there. And a foul as Thibault goes to the basket. Boy, Simmons, uncontested, had a layup, but he leaves it for Thibault, who makes something out of it and is headed to the line.
Well, but that's when you know that the game is in your head. That's a dunk for Ben Simmons right there. You got it, and I know you got it to Thibault, you got the free throws, but Ben Simmons, you got to shoot that shot.
That's right. Ben Simmons passes up a wide open dunk to pass to Matisse Thybulle. Now, Matisse Thybulle is 6'5", and he tries to split 2 defenders, and he's fouled. Now, Ben Simmons is 6'11". He's very tall. He has a 7-foot wingspan. So what this means is he can stand up and reach up into the sky and almost touch the rim. He also has a 42-inch vertical leap, which means when he jumps in the air, if he wants to, he can get 4 feet in the air. All of this to say, dunking for Ben Simmons is very, very easy. So what's happening here? Well, Ben Simmons, despite all his talent, success, and potential, is currently in a downward spiral. He has no confidence in his game, and then he has a bad attitude with the 76ers, so they suspend him, and then they suspend him once more for conduct detrimental to the team. He's demanding a trade, but they can't trade him now because he has a lower trade value than ever. He's a guy who's 6'11" with a 42-inch vertical leap, and he passes up dunks beneath the hoop. Why? Well, there are other things going on. And this is a problem for both Ben Simmons and the 76ers. It means there's a mismatch between the current value of his contract. Ben Simmons signed a 5-year, $170 million extension with the 76ers in 2019. And that's going to take him through the 2024-2025 season and the current value. A guy who passes up dunks, so the 76ers can't trade him. So it's a lose-lose. The 76ers can't move him, and Ben Simmons doesn't want to play for him. All right about now, or maybe about 3 minutes ago, you were wondering, all right, Hartman, this is fairly interesting, maybe. How is this relevant to me? And thank you. Thank you for asking. At the core, what we're talking about is leadership, potential, confidence, and mental health. And as leaders, a big part of what we do is evaluate potential. Now, in the NBA, when they talk about players, they talk about the player's floor, like the potential worst consistent performance that they can get. And they compare the floor of a player's performance to their ceiling, which is the potential best consistent performance. And needless to say, potential, evaluating potential, communicating someone's potential, that is 100% subjective. And for Ben Simmons, the basketball player, or Bob Simmons, your outside sales rep, this is very subjective. You know what is not subjective? Is that when you lose confidence, you are done as an NBA player. And when you lose confidence as a sales professional, you are also done. Now, every month we meet with a few different people as we engage in sales performance coaching. So we have an executive coaching track. We also coach outside sales reps from folks across the country. So what do we talk about? Well, if I'm being honest, for most executives, we're talking about the 2022 budgeting, and we're using analytics to forecast piece counts first, and then we're doing some scenario planning with pricing, because for the first time in probably 15 years, we can't do the old, well, Inflation is going to count for 3 or 4%, and we're going to grow 5%. So lick our finger, stick it in the air, and say, we're going to grow about 9.4%. We add it in there. We reverse engineer some numbers from our sales team, and voila, that's our budget. Well, we're not going to be able to do that this year. But other than budgeting, what are we talking about with outside sales reps, executives? We're not talking strategy. We're not talking tactics. We're talking about the mindset. We're talking about controlling emotions. We're talking about things that begin and end with control what you can control. And this ties directly of what we try to build our sales fundamentals workshop on. We're talking about in the workshop, ultimately, the value is delivering long-term confidence and community. And if you listen to the intro, the confidence comes from the fundamentals, which is goal setting, prospecting, pipeline management, and time management. And the community piece is about our monthly accountability calls, where we get together from folks across the country to help each other, to listen, to give new ideas, and to support each other. Because listen, regardless of whether you're selling $1 million a year or $10 million a year, this is a tough business, and it requires a specific mindset. Now, for all of you who consider yourself leaders and managers and good teammates and deliverers of value to customers and prospects, we know that now more than ever, we need to talk less, observe more, listen more, and ask better questions. And yeah, I'm going to say it. To me, along with everyone else, we need to be more sensitive. What do I mean by that? Well, yeah, there are some sales pros who cash checks of $50,000 in back-to-back months that were May, June, and July. But when the market crashed and they sold $1 million at a negative margin and they only earned their draw of $4,000, yeah, both of those things can be true. And we need to be sensitive to how people are feeling, right? And I know we can say, hey man, you got to take with the good, with the bad. What goes up must come down. Hopefully you saved that $50,000 check that month and you didn't spend it all on a new Ford F-350 to impress your friends. But hey man, this is how it goes. There's ups and downs. I agree with you. All this is true. And yet we need to be sensitive to how people are thinking and their mental stability. Everyone is fighting their own battles. And for sales professionals across the country and to operational folks, we are letting people down every single day. The people that we value the most. And for many sales professionals, they are disappointing the people through no fault of their own. These are their friends, their long-term clients, and new clients that they worked 2 or 3 years to land. On this podcast in the past, we've talked about this bias we have as human beings that's called loss aversion. Loss aversion explains why we feel the pain of loss twice as much as an equivalent pleasure of gain. What does that mean? Well, it means that if we were to lose $10, that feels twice as bad as it does compared to the pleasure of winning $10. From a rational standpoint, it makes 0 sense. But as human beings, it's how we operate. And as a result, individuals tend to try to avoid losses in whatever way possible. So if you're struggling with your sales professionals and you can't understand why they don't want to sell plywood that's $50 when the market price is half that, yeah, it's because the pain of this is significantly more than the pleasure of making a lot of money that happened 90 days in the past. So what's the worst case? Well, the worst case, it's really bad. We have an epidemic in the construction industry overall as it relates to suicide. According to the Centers of Disease Prevention, construction occupations have the highest rate of suicide, as well as the highest number of suicides across all occupational groups. And our suicide rate in the construction industry is 4 times greater than the national average. 16 years ago, I had a 24-year-old superintendent who was working for us who committed suicide. And it's something that I think about often. So as you think about your own self, your own family, your own team, your customers, your prospect, we need to be more sensitive. We need to meet these people around us where they are, not where we wish they were. Again, leaders, managers, teammates, and value deliverers to customers and prospects, we need to talk less, observe more, listen more, and ask better questions. And yeah, I'll say it again. Speaking to myself as much as anybody else, we need to be more sensitive. When we think about potential, we gotta know it's subjective. So after 4 years in the NBA and we're looking at Ben Simmons, Would it be nice if he developed a consistently reliable 15-foot jump shot? Well, yeah, it would. And would it be nice if he improved on his 50% free throw percentage? Well, yeah, it would. And it would be nice if his three-point shot went in more than 15%. I said 15, not 50% of the time. Yeah, it would. But Ben Simmons is a well above average NBA player. He's a good teammate, and prior to his meltdown with the Philadelphia 76ers, he was known as a really good kid. He's completely lost his confidence, and he's probably lashing out because of some combination of pride and ego and fear. And he's currently in a downward spiral. When you don't have any confidence and you have a bad attitude and you have conduct detrimental to the team, the trade value for you is going to be lower. The 76ers can't trade him, and he's a victim of his own success, landing nearly a $200 million guaranteed contract. Now, I know it's hard to look at these folks and feel sorry for anybody in it. These are people who are going through real things, regardless of how much money is involved, much like many of the very successful sales professionals on your team. When you lose confidence, you are done as a hoops professional. And when you lose confidence, you're done as a sales professional as well. But hey, we need to keep this all in perspective. Question for you. How old is Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons is 25. Everyone is fighting their own battles. You got to meet people where they are, not where you wish they were. So here's my message here as we close out. Keep grinding out there. Be kind to one another. If you think the confidence that we can develop in the sales fundamentals that come from goal setting and prospecting and pipeline management and time management and the ongoing community that we have with our monthly accountability calls that happen every month with sales pros across the country, then hey, check out the Sales Fundamentals Workshop next year. You can email me directly at bradley@behindyourbacksales.com. And if it's not a fit for you, hopefully these sales tools and content that we've put out freely available to download at behindyourbacksales.com/tools. Hopefully these can help you and your customers and prospects in some small way. That's all we've got. Thank you for listening. You, my friends, you are owed nothing. Deliver value first.